start, there is a sign-up sheet that's been going around, and we'd like to make sure that you've signed it. So if you haven't, can anyone indicate who's got the sign-up sheet at the moment?
Right here.
It's over there. Whether you're going tonight to the cultural event and whether you're going to be involved in the discussions tomorrow. And we particularly need to know if you're in the discussions tomorrow because we're forming groups tonight. Okay? So we need to know who's coming. Thank you. All right, now we're going to have a question and answer session. I'd also like to remind everybody to write down any questions and comments that you ask or that you have already got in your mind and give to our rapporteurs here for collection. I know quite a few have come in, but please keep them coming. At this stage, because time pressures have been upon us and we haven't had really any significant question and answer session, we're going to spend the first 20 minutes or so just opening it up to the floor for general questions and answers of any of the presentations that you've heard. So please indicate with your hand if you'd like to speak, and we'll go from there. So state your name and your organisation. Thank you. So who would like to start?
I'm from Florida, USA. I just wanted to, because I'm not that familiar with the whole setup, how this came about, and what was the origin of this symposium. And could you shed some light as to what are your ultimate goals in terms of what you're trying to achieve, and is this just only for India? If it is for India, what are you going to do with the recommendations? I just wanted to just briefly tell me so I for my knowledge. Thank you.
Dr. Maheshwari.
Of this workshop, maybe I should be.
Funding call from Australia India Institute, and we have done some work in Western Sydney looking at peri-urban issues, and we've gone beyond Sydney into other cities across Australia. So peri-urban, we realized that it's not Australian problem or Indian problem, it's a global problem. And the cities are expanding, we are moving into agricultural lands. So this workshop we open to people from other than India and Australia. That was the point. And so the aim of this workshop, if by end of tomorrow this time, what we want to know is some clarity on what are the key issues, opportunities, and how we can network together and present a sort of strong front that we can come back next year, year after, or something with a bigger project, more effective project. And so anyone has got any ideas, anyone wants to collaborate, here is your time and here is your opportunity. Then please give your ideas, and then we will try. For example, we got an idea, we could approach Asian Development Bank or some other agency, and because it's a big Asian problem, in other countries problem, so just to come up with a proposal or concept for future collaboration. And there are many issues. Someone was saying we need to work from ground up, and Brian mentioned we need to look into what's wrong with the policy and those things. So we need more ideas and clarify. Thank you.
Well, since you might also talk about the publication.
Yes, we have got some number of full-length paper, and we have to review those papers and select suitable papers and publish either as a special issue of a journal or into a book, and that will be one of the activities, one of the outcomes of that workshop, which will help create awareness about peri-urban issues. So that's another thing we want.
Thank you. Next question. Yes. Could you state your name and organisation?
I am Mansoor Esfandiari Bayat from Islamic Azad University, branch Firzabad, near the city near the Shiraz, Iran. So I believe, that the main reason of that one of the main reasons of urbanization, I think, is immigration of the rural people, the urban area. This is one thing. Another, I believe that farmers, they are our boss. They produce food for us, in the city, people that are living in the cities. I'm wondering why the governments in the developing countries, not in Western countries, because they have policy for these things. For example, in Europe, I read articles on these things. They understand these things. Urban areas. Why they are silent? I believe we, as the people who live in the cities and also government, they should do everything they can to keep the farmers in the rural area. I believe the government and urban people, they should pay subsidies to the farmers because they are our boss. They produce food for us. I believe, and no jobs, so they have no opportunity. So they have no option. They have to move to the cities, unless and until there is some, government have policy to create jobs in the rural areas. This will continue.
I don't want to cut the comments off at this stage and then move to these general comments. But that, of course, depends on whether there are questions for papers that you've heard. And I'll leave it to the audience. And I'm quite happy to take more comments if that's the way you want to go.
I think there were some questions supposed to be turned in to the chair of the sessions. There should be some written questions.
Okay. Any of the rapporteurs got written questions? Yes.